How's it going, man? Henry Burgess.
Good. Gary, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So, I noticed that you are a first-time client here.
I am.
So what brings you in today?
Well, really is, me and my wife have just been thinking a lot about our son's futures, college-wise, and we don't want to wait till the last minute for that.
It's a good choice.
Yeah, we just want to make sure it gets started on it earlier and make sure it's going to be available at the time. Almost 10 years when our firstborn gets to college age. And yeah, we just like to get a whole look at our finances and see if that'll be obtainable.
Absolutely, I can definitely do that for you. Before we go too much further, I'd like to get some background information on you and your wife and kind of just look at a snapshot of your financial kind of setting.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, what age range are you guys?
So I'm 32,
Okay.
she's 30. I am a partner in my law firm. I make about $110,000, not including bonuses.
Nice.
And she is a nurse, and she makes about $70,000.
Okay. And you mentioned you said 2 sons, correct?
Yes, 2 sons, Jacob and Cameron. Cameron is 7 years old and Jacob's 5.
Cameron is 7, Jacob is
Yes.
5. Okay. So yeah, so there's still a little bit of ways to go until they'll be college age. So that's good news because one of the biggest factors when it comes to saving for college is time. You know, if you give yourself enough time, you can really make the interest rates work for you very nicely. And the less time you give yourself, just the more you have to pay in the end. So, you know, you did the right thing coming in now. It's definitely still in the early stage. You know, it's not too late by any means. So we'll have enough time to comfortably get there. You know, if you had to guess, what does a month's worth of expenses for your household look like?
So right now, I'd say we spend about $6,000 a month.
Okay. And I know that's an approximation. You know, of course, in the future after this meeting, you know, we can go ahead and start getting some documents pulled together. Like if you have an accountant or a lawyer, anything that they have on your finances would be really beneficial. Bank statements, all of that, so you can kind of get like a really good picture, make sure all the numbers are all right. So you said just about $6,000 per month in expenses. So tell me about accounts that you have now. Savings accounts, checking accounts, any of those kind of things.
Mm-hmm. So me and my wife both have a joint checking and a joint savings.
Okay.
Total between the 2 accounts, I think, is around $55,000.
And is that majority in savings or majority in checking?
I believe it's about 40 in savings and 15 in
Okay.
checking.
All right.
And right now, we were kind of just throwing money in the boat to use for future college expenses.
Okay. So you were kind of using your savings account as your college.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So one of the things that we really you know, do a lot with our clients here is we try to always push that the savings account is not really your friend. You know, it is good for certain things, for small short-term savings. But for anything where you really would like to make your interest work for you a little better, so especially with the college preparation, the savings account really just isn't going to be the best vehicle or option for you. So that's one thing we'll start talking about in a little bit is maybe options or different plans, you know, different state-funded plans we can use. There are certain private plans we can use.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go over all of that in a little bit. So out of all of that, would you say pretty much all of that is for the college fund that's in savings, or some of that, you know, other multi-purpose funds?
Yes, the joint checking we use whenever we need to, you know, just monthly expenses, going shopping, paying bills,
Okay.
things like that. Savings we try not to touch too much, only when we need to, because we just started thinking about college, so we're trying not to touch it anymore.
Well, one of the main things I would suggest is dividing up your savings account. And so we take a good chunk of that and start the college fund with it. And then, the other portion of it you could end up keeping in savings as a kind of like a rainy day fund or just a case of emergency fund is kind of what we like to talk about here. Just it's 3 to 6 months of expenses, just in case something were to happen to you or your wife and you weren't able to provide for the family for a little while, or big expenses pop up, cars break down, stuff happens unfortunately. So we like to account for kind of all of those things. If your expenses are looking at about $6,000 a month, we probably want to start off at $18,000 for your rainy day fund as a minimum. So, we can definitely write that in. And that's just a good benchmark, is 3 to 6 months. You can do more or less if you need to. But like to start out at 3. So let's see here. So let's talk about goals. What would you say your number one primary goal is currently?
Currently, our main financial goal is providing definitely the college fund.
Okay.
We are looking into buying or upgrading our current cars.
Okay.
And me and my wife would like to take a good vacation in the next 5 years or so. Once the kids get a little older, we'd like to go and take a good trip, maybe a summer trip.
And is it in that order? So the college fund and the new vehicles and the trip?
Yeah, I would put the college and the cars first, and the trip, and we can manage it.
And so, what is your situation with housing, if you don't mind me asking? You have a house, apartment?
We own our home. We do have a mortgage on it.
Okay.
Roughly $7,000 mortgage.
$70,000 left to pay off?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And we're keeping up with the payments. We're keeping up. We do have a little credit card debt. I think like $3,500.
Okay.
Not too bad. We're paying the max every month, staying on top of it. Credit's good.
That's good to hear. Just normal consumer debt.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's nothing to stress about, certainly. And it seems like y'all are paying your mortgage off fairly quickly, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a 30-year or 15-year?
It's a 30.
Okay.
We've been prioritizing our debt in the recent years, and then now we're starting to consider our kids' futures.
And if you don't mind me asking, how many years are you into this mortgage?
I believe 19.
Okay. I know this seems like a lot of questions, but we have to kind of build almost like a profile for each client, especially when it's a new client such as yourself. That way we can kind of better tailor all of our solutions to kind of fit your life and all of that with you. So now let's talk about another tricky subject, retirement. Do you have any current plans in place, any current accounts, you or your wife, as far as retirements go?
Yeah, she has some kind of hospital pension plan going, and I have a 401k through work that we gotta contribute 10% of my salary, and I'm not too sure on her pension details.
Okay. So you contribute 10% yearly, so that's $11,000. Okay. And do they do any employer matching with that, or?
I believe they do 3% up to $100,000.
Okay.
I can definitely get you more information on that.
Absolutely. Yeah, just by the time we'll end up at the end of this meeting, we'll go ahead and schedule our next one. But that'll be one of the things. Is there any benefits, things like that from work? Health benefits?
Yeah, we both have health insurance through our employers, so that's not really too big of an issue.
Right.
I'm looking to retire maybe around 70.
Okay.
Between 65 and 70. If I need to work longer, I can.
Yeah.
She's definitely wanted to retire at 63.
Okay.
So she has that set in mind. Don't think she's going to want to be working anymore after that.
That's fair.
We're just going to want to live our retirement life, make sure the kids are good.
Yeah.
Like that.
No, I totally understand. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so any current investments that I should know about?
Neither of us have ever been in the market before.
Okay. Well, that's definitely something we will walk you guys through.
I was actually referred by a friend referred to y'all to handle our investment, or new investment strategy.
All right. Was it somebody who's a current client?
Yes, they're a current client.
Yeah, we try really hard to, one of the things we do here is we try to include you as much as possible in the process. So like especially we're gonna have Seafood and your wife coming to next time because we really want both of you guys to be on board with every decision.
She works a lot of crazy shifts. She wanted to be here.
Oh, I totally understand. So that'll be something else we can look at in the future is when it is time to start investing. If that's something you guys are interested in, risk tolerance, we have a questionnaire, I'll get for you guys to fill out. But just kind of all of those things together, we like you to feel like you're in control with that, instead of just us emailing you every 6 months saying, here's the numbers. So yeah, that's definitely something in our future meetings we will begin to work on. But until now, I just kind of want to keep developing just a general profile on you. So we have goals. Where does retirement fit in your goals? Would you say, is it pretty high, not super worried about it, you got it under control?
With our current plans in place through our employer, we haven't been too worried about it.
Okay.
We feel like my 401k and our pension will be good. Plus any savings we can have.
Right.
We feel like we'll be okay. If need be, we will downgrade our house in retirement since the kids will be out. There's no need for our enormous home right now. So yeah, we're definitely flexible about retirement. We're not thinking about living too much of an extravagant life.
Okay.
Maybe a little more vacations in there, but if it's prioritized, I'd probably put it after the vehicles.
Okay. So just a lot before the vacation.
Yeah, the vacation we're kind of like throwing it in when we can.
Right, I understand that.
When we see it.
Okay, so now we can actually kind of jump into the college planning. So it looks to me like you have about 11 years, give or take, based on your son's birthday when he actually starts. We have about 11 years to start really getting your savings up with that. Now, the main two options that we kind of recommend for most of our clients is the Texas 529 plan. It's just a comprehensive education spending kind of only type deal, where you pay into that in monthly payments. And at the end of that, you will have access to those funds to pay for any qualified educational expense, including their room and board while they're there. So it's pretty much all expenses covered. There are some other plans that exist, like the Coverdell, and plans that utilize credits, where you pay for a certain number of credits, and these credits pay for years in class and stuff like that. And we don't really generally recommend those just because of the lack of flexibility they have. Another option we do a lot is, I'm sure you're familiar with the Roth IRA, the retirement account. So those are actually can legally be used for college savings too. So some people like to go that route just because it's tax free. Well, not truly tax free, but you know what I mean. It kind of lowers the tax burden a little bit on you, and they're a little more leeway in what you can do with that money. Like if for whatever reason one of your sons decides that college isn't for him, and you've already saved that up, with the 529 plan, it has to go to a qualified educational expense. With the IRA, it could be whatever you want. Or if they finish early, or there are a lot of variables. Because 11 years from now is a long time. A lot can happen. Do you think? And I know this is really far off, but do you think that scholarships are a good
definitely
chance?
Yeah, we are gonna try to take advantage of as many scholarships, grants, anything like that as we can.
And from looking over at y'all's just general financial picture, it doesn't seem like you will be eligible for most financial aid, just based off of income, kind of things of that nature. So I'm sure whatever the default limit is, I believe right now it's $5,225 a semester. That's an option that you can use. I'm sure it'll go up by then, to match the changing cost of college. But it'll be something along those lines. So that's something that you can definitely use to help you, but I understand that it's way more ideal just to have it all covered. So what I'm going to do is, between this meeting and our next meeting, I'm going to run the numbers on a bunch of different plans. And we can look at, different amounts. Like how much do you say you would feel comfortable putting into an account each month for your sons? Like what have you been putting into your savings account monthly?
Right now, it's been just whatever we can. I'd like to plan for $20,000 a semester for each kid.
Okay.
But contribution-wise, I want to do what I can. So not really a fixed amount, really, more of as much as I can.
Well, so one of the cool things about the software we use is it kind of takes the current escalation of college prices just across the board. It uses like regional averages. So we can get a pretty good picture of what it's going to cost in the future. So, I'm not sure how 20,000 might work out to that. So we're going to look at that for sure. That's going to be something we're going to look at, the cost of that. And then we'll see what the lowest amount we can, start making those monthly payments at to meet that goal. Mm-hmm. And then, you can decide that somewhere along the road, if you want to start doing more, then, you're more than welcome to. If you'd rather kind of load up heavier while they're young and pay a lot more now so you can make smaller payments when it gets closer to that day of college, mm-hmm. That's also an option. It's really just going to be what works best for you guys.
I'm also, our law firm is doing pretty well right now, so I'm expecting a yearly bonus within the next 2 years. And my last bonus was around $60,000.
Really?
So I'm ballparking it around somewhere there again.
Be a pretty good windfall.
Do you recommend I contribute all that to their college and take a huge chunk now, or allocate it somewhere else? Or?
You absolutely could do that. With these plans, actually, you don't even have to do payments. You could do a lump sum in the very beginning. The main reason I'm not going to entirely recommend that is that you have other things you're looking at. 60,000. I don't know what kind of vehicles you're looking at, but that could definitely help put a big dent in the cost of the 2 new vehicles. But I would take a good portion of that and start putting it in, just so you have a basis. Because, like I said, this is really a time game, mm-hmm. And it's good that you're coming early, but you could always come earlier. So if you kind of put more in now, it'll be like you would start earlier. So you could we can go back and see what the payments are each month, and you can go make payments for 2 years in the past. And now, I mean, obviously with interest and all that, it wouldn't be collecting interest, but it still would be in. I explained that poorly. It's not collecting interest for you now, but once you put it in, you can start to see that kind of increasing. So in regards to all of the college fund stuff, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be plugging it all into a program. So by the time we get back to our next meeting, I'll have all of that for you all finalized, different options, and just so you can kind of get the big picture. So the next thing I wanted to talk to you about was the vacation you guys have planned. So I see that it's down here at the very bottom of your goals, but at the same time, the 3 goals above it are really major life goals kind of things. Whereas taking a vacation is a lot smaller scale. So I can see why it's at the bottom. It kind of gets dwarfed by these bigger things, but you should definitely still, plan for that.
Mm-hmm.
With what I've been given so far, number-wise, you guys would have the ability to pay for a vacation. Do you know how? Can I get some ideas on what exactly we want to do?
Yeah, so we're thinking about taking. I'm thinking about taking a cruise, about 5-day cruise vacation, and my wife kind of wants to do like a Europe trip. So both are definitely a consideration, but we're thinking like maybe a week off, full week off of work,
Right.
And maybe a budget around $12,000-$15,000.
Okay.
And of course, that budget it can go down or up according to we're spending on what time we go, but
No, absolutely.
just a ballpark.
Well, basically, from what I've been given so far, that should work. And I think that could work as soon as this summer. So, I know you both have very demanding jobs, very busy lives, and it's definitely a good thing to be able to kind of take a step back and spend some time on vacation. That's one of the things we talk a lot about here is it's not necessarily just about making money, but it's kind of about the happiness element you get from spending that money.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is an important thing that's often overlooked is vacations. Based off of what I've seen, especially with you expecting that bonus coming in some point in the next year or two, you'll be able to do the vacation, college fund, new vehicles, and retirement, all of it. You don't have to leave anything to the wayside.
Mm-hmm.
So the new vehicles, I don't know how much we haven't really gone into detail about those. Do you plan on buying 2 brand new cars, or used, or leasing, or what's the general plan?
I have a 2014 F-150, and she has a 2012 Lexus. We're definitely going to trade those in, get whatever value we can out of those, and then, of course, put it towards the new car. Probably looking to finance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a reason why we need to pay for new cars, especially if we got those other things I want to take care of. But yeah, definitely looking into financing. We can manage those payments, I believe.
Yeah. Let me see. And are you currently making any car payments?
Right now, the cars are paid off.
Okay. Yeah, then from what I have, it looks like you guys will be fine with some car payments. And I see your credit score here is fairly high.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's a really good credit score, so I'm sure you'll be getting a fair deal there when it comes down for the loan and all that. So you're pretty much all squared away with all of these main goals you really brought to me. Do you have any additional concerns?
Not so much. Maybe just taking care of family if we need to, because both our parents are still in the picture. So if that becomes an expense, definitely take care of family.
Well, that'll be something that we can write in and we can discuss more in the future.
Definitely. Yeah, they're all in good health right now, so it's not anything that's foreseen.
Mm-hmm. Cool. But it's good to account for these things. So one little final thing before we go. I'm gonna kind of give you your homework, so to speak. So here I have a link to take an online risk tolerance quiz for you and your wife, so you can kind of get some comparisons there. Definitely try to bring your wife to the next meeting. I know her schedule is very busy, but I think it's really beneficial for you both to be here when you're discussing these kind of things. And then I will have prepared for you a bunch of different simulations and mock-ups kind of how it could go as far as college funding goes. And I think that's about it. Oh, financial documents. Anything you can get, bank statements, things of that nature. A balance sheet, if you have it, will be excellent. Because the more I have, the better I can kind of build up your profile, so to speak.
Yeah, the wife's one of those folder girls, so she has all the statements in a folder.
Well,
Grab it
absolutely.
next time.
Honestly, that's perfect for us.
Perfect.
So if you bring all that in, then we'll put all that to work.
Awesome.
All right, here you go.
Appreciate it, Henry.
Yeah, it was very nice talking to you.
You too. Thank you so much.